A world without internet.
Come on. I'm telling you, ducks actually have accents depending on where they're born.
What? You're totally making that up.
It's impossible to fact check.
Exactly. There's no way of knowing.
Oh, yeah? When I get home, I'll look it up in my duck accent encyclopedia and I'll shut your beak.
Okay, let's try a little thought experiment. I want you to imagine you wake up tomorrow and the internet, as we know it, has just disappeared. Gone. No Google, no social media, no instant anything. What would your day actually look like? So picture this. You're out with a friend and they drop this little tidbit on you. They say, hey, did you know ducks have regional accents? And they're totally serious about it. Your first reaction? No way, not a chance. You immediately want to call them on it. And right there, that's where our whole experiment really kicks in. Without a phone in your pocket, how do you prove them wrong? Or right, you can't. You're just stuck there, arguing. This silly little debate about duck accents perfectly shows our complete and total dependence on the internet for instant answers.
And this gets us to our first major point. See, the internet didn't just give us a bunch of information, it completely rewired how we argue with each other. That whole idea of a long, drawn-out debate that never really gets resolved, yeah, that's pretty much a thing of the past. I mean, just look at the difference. Back in the day, settling an argument meant what? Digging out an old encyclopedia? Or maybe just trusting whoever sounded the most confident. More often than not, you just give up and agree to disagree. But now, a debate lasts all of 30 seconds before someone whips out a phone, shares a link, and boom, it's over. We're living in an age of immediate, verifiable proof. So that covers information, but what about our stuff? The internet didn't just change how we know things, it totally changed how we get things. It made so much of our world, especially media, completely dematerialized. And to really get your head around how big a deal that is, let's just imagine for a second what it would look like if it were all still physical.
Okay, picture this scene. You're just walking down the street, minding your own business, and all of a sudden, you're getting stopped by the authorities. And your crime? You were caught red-handed, downloading.
And this is just such a perfect illustration of how absurd that world would be. You know, without the internet, downloading becomes this sketchy physical exchange happening on a street corner. It really drives home how incredibly seamless and invisible our access to media has become. We don't even have to think about it anymore.
So this brings us to what is really the central idea of this whole explainer. If all our digital tools just vanished, who would we turn to? All those tiny little questions we fire off at our devices every single day would have to be redirected to one single analog source. Let's, for the sake of argument, call that source Grandma.
And just look at the sheer range of questions being thrown at her. How many eggs do I need for this recipe? What's the weather going to be like tomorrow? Hey, why is the leaf on my plant turning yellow? Who won the game last night? What does it mean when I dream my teeth are falling out? We've basically outsourced every single piece of our lives to this one all-knowing service. And then the inevitable happens. The system crashes. Right in the middle of answering a question, the connection is lost. The source of all human knowledge just stops. Total system failure.
And here it is, the punchline. This is our universal solution for absolutely everything, isn't it? It's the first and only thing we do when our tech fails on us. Have you tried turning it off and on again? It just goes to show how fragile our dependence really is. We rely on this incredibly complex system that we don't understand at all, and our only fix is the simplest one imaginable. Okay, so we've lost facts and we've lost our all-knowing search engine, but there's one last, more subtle thing that we lose in this world. Without the internet, we lose that constant, low-level stream of information about each other's lives. It's kind of like we're all living permanently on airplane mode.
And the crucial point here is the complete and total lack of context. You've got a boss letting an employee go, and to them, it's just another Tuesday. It's business. But they have absolutely no idea that this person's girlfriend just broke up with them that morning. Without that digital backdrop of our shared lives, we lose that critical context. And that leads to these incredibly isolating, really tone-deaf moments. And this is the result. Someone just weathering multiple crises all at once, but they are completely alone in that moment. That phrase, "this is fine," it becomes this symbol of quiet desperation. This is what happens when we lose those digital networks we rely on to share what we're going through and to get support from others. So let's just pull all this together. The internet has become this invisible scaffolding that's holding up our modern lives. It's our source for instant knowledge, it's our library of dematerialized media, it's our central utility for all of our daily questions, and it's the social network that gives us all the context for each other's lives.
And that really leaves us with one final thought. We saw what happened when Grandma, our human internet, froze up. The only solution anyone could think of was a simple reboot. But if our entire digital world went dark, if the whole system just froze, would any